الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبو القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم. All together inshallah say the salam. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. May Allah inshallah accept our prayers, our amal, our du'as, our mourning for Abu Abdullah inshallah, and reward us for our presence tonight in this majlis. Recite another salawat and gift to Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this great tawfiq. The Eid of Rasu'ah and 9th of month of Muharram. Tomorrow will be the eve of Ashura, but we have the tawfiq that we are sitting in the majlis of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam and his loyal brother Abul Fadl Abbas. May Allah inshallah register our names among the true followers of our Imam, and inshallah give us tawfiq soon to have a great ziyarah of his shrine inshallah with ma'rifah. ببركة الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Alhamdulillah, we are following the topic and we're analyzing the society of the time of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam in order to get lessons, in order to have a better idea for our current time, because we mentioned that we are the bridge between Ashura and Zuhur. We are the ones that we should prepare the situation and be ready actually ourselves for Zuhur of our Imam, the Imam of time. But we have to make sure by looking at the history, as Amir al-Mu'min himself says, a wise person is a person that will look at the history, would not do the same mistakes as what people before him committed and they did. They don't have to do things that people before you they did and they got a wrong result. That's why we're analyzing these attributes and we're trying to figure out if any of those characteristics are still in our community or maybe ourselves personally, so that we know that we have to work on that, inshallah. We mentioned many of the characteristics of the enemies of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, people of Kufa. We mentioned a lot. But although many of the people of Kufa, they attended the army of Yazid, and we analyzed some of the characteristics of them, we have to focus on the other side as well. We have to see that, yes, maybe based on that narration, 30,000 people attended the army of Yazid, but 72 people at the same time, they supported Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. How come among this mainstream of unrighteous people, we have 72 people, we have this companion of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, that they're stable in the path of Imam Hussein, and they found their path. Because sometimes we blame the environment, right? We blame the situation, we blame the current time that we are living at, and we say, you know what, the reason I'm doing this, the reason I have shortcoming, the reason because I live somewhere, because I have this problem, because I was in that family. We try to blame something else or someone else for our shortcomings, okay? But what do we see that? How come among all these people, 72 people, all the soldiers of Muhammad, they could find their path? Many of them from Kufa, still they could find their path without any issue, and they were so loyal and stable in the path of Muhammad. So we have to see that. We have to analyze that. And we have to understand the reasons, the secrets behind their success. So in order to what? To be able to apply them into our lives as well. Inshallah, with the barakah of salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allah. Coming down. Another salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. That's good. So therefore, we have to look at this. And tonight specifically is a special night that we call it, we name it the name of loyalty. And after the name of loyalty and the attributes of loyalty, the night of the brother of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. Although, there's no specific reason behind this, the names. Because many people think, it's a tradition among many communities, many nationalities, that they name each night of Muharram by one of the shuhada of Karbala. So some people think, for example, some of the shuhada, they were killed in the 2nd, 3rd, 8th, 9th of Muharram. No one was shaheed in this days. All of the shuhada of Karbala were shaheed when? From the Zohr, from the beginning of the day of Ashura until probably afternoon, right? So these are just traditions, sometimes we name this. And unfortunately, some people after the 10th of Muharram, they think the Masab of Ahlul Bayt is finished, they don't come to the Majalis anymore. They don't understand that. So far nothing happened. Right after the 10th of Ashura, the Masab of Ahlul Bayt is started. Right after the Ashura, everything is started. So we see that our Majalis, our centers are empty after the 10th of Muharram. It's like opposite. It should be actually more crowded after the 10th of Muharram. Our majalis, our centers, in our houses, wherever we have. So I have the tawfiq, inshallah, to still keep the light of the Majlis of Imam Hussein on, inshallah, and have the tawfiq for that. I would like to start my lecture by a question from all of us, and you, inshallah. What do you think is the most important message of Ashura? What do you think is the highest teaching of Ashura that you can only find it in Ashura? Not anywhere else. Not in Saffin, not in Badr, not in Uhud, not in Nahrawan. None of these battlefields. I want you to think about this. A message, a teaching that exclusively belongs to Ashura, and we see this to the highest level. It manifested itself in Ashura, specifically by the companion and the soldiers of Muhammad. You're thinking about this, right? Is it Salat? No, we had Salat before. Many people before, in many battlefields, they were praying behind Amir al-Mu'minin, behind Rasulullah. Is it Tawakkul? Many people, they had Tawakkul. Is it Jihad? In Saffin, how many people they were fighting against Muawiyah in the army of Amir al-Mu'minin, in the army of Rasulullah, anywhere else? What is that? That specifically we can find this in Ashura, and this is something that we have to dissect this topic, and we have to apply that into our lives as well. Something that there isn't a lengthening to tell you what it is. I want you to think about this. Something that if there's any shortcomings in our spirituality, in our iman, in our daily life, in our religion, in our deen, is because of the weakness of this attribute. And that's exclusively in Ashura, you can find it to this level, and that is taslim, and that is submission. That is being submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to what He orders, He recommends, He decrees, and to the orders of the Imam of time. I was talking to some of the brothers before the member, and we were before Salat, and we were saying that at least Imam Hussein والسلام, he had 72 people that they were so submitted to Allah and to Imam al-Hussein that they sacrificed themselves for the sake of Imam al-Hussein. Any other Imams, you don't find any 72 people. You don't even find 10 people. You don't even find 10, 15 people, but no. 72 people submitted themselves to their path of beliefs on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they actually went all the way towards this. If I am having some shortcomings in my religion, it's because maybe I'm not that submitted to Allah. I'm supposed to be submitted to Allah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling me about something, when I know something is halal and haram and recommendations, sam'an wa ta'atan, I have to do that. One of the etymology, one of the meaning of Islam comes from what? Taslim, submission. To be submitted to Allah. Not to always look for an excuse to say, no, why is it this way? Why is scholars saying we have to do this? Why Islam is saying? Some people, questions are very good. Some people just want to find issue. Some people just want to put it down. Some people want to just negatively criticize everything. You know, and his life and her life every day, there's no problem. As soon as it comes to Islam, questions happen. Why we should do this? Why we should do that? Why we have to do it? Therefore, we have to analyze how much we're submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What we can find in Ashura, in the night, eve of Ashura, night of Ashura. When Imam Hussein tells them to leave, they stand up after another one. Where are we supposed to go? No. Nothing else can satisfy us except this submission that we have to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know that we have to sacrifice ourselves for you, Hussein. That is so close and tied to the second characteristics of them, which mainly I want to talk about that. And that is the topic of amal and action. Whatever I talked so far, whatever characteristics, whatever attributes that you can find, whatever recommendations that you can find in Islam, they are all contingent on what? Acting upon them. Amal. Many people, they believe, but they don't act upon their beliefs. Many people, they strongly believe in something, apparently, quote unquote, but when it comes to the time of amal, they don't act upon it. That is why in Quran, the majority of ayat that I want to recite, the first part of the ayah, I would like you to recite the second part. How about that, huh? Let's contribute. The first ayah says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, out loud, say it again. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Those people that almost everywhere in Quran, wherever it talks about Iman, talks about Amal right after that. Those people who believe and they act upon their belief. Belief without Amal, that means people of Kufr, even if you say they had some beliefs. Yes. Believe with Amal. Wallahi, this is, I usually don't swear, but if we just act upon whatever we know so far, based on whatever knowledge, the level of knowledge that we have here, we just act upon whatever we know so far about Islam, we would be a different person right now. Let's analyze ourselves. Do I act upon whatever I know that Islam says do it and says don't do it? Who can say I really act upon what I know? Forget about studying more, and yes, we have to do, right? But going higher, because some people will give some lecture somewhere else, because, no, you know, I want to know something extra. And, yes, very good that you don't want to know extra things. But do you still know 2 times 2 is 4? Do you act upon it? Or you want to jump to, you know, solve equation? Just act upon something simple that Islam tells you to do, and see if you still have problem, and then blame and complain something else. And about something else. Just acting upon what we are supposed to know. That's what Quran says. Another ayah of Quran says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا آمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Those you think you have Iman, now that's you have to have Iman. Many of the Arab at that time, right? They claim that mu'min, they claim, no, Iman, this is not what you have. Islam, yes, Islam comes with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Islam, yeah, comes with this. But Iman doesn't come with that. Iman comes with what? Tell me, Iman comes with what? Amal. Acting upon it. So I made it very simple. I'm telling, by the way, I'm talking about myself. You guys, alhamdulillah, you're good. If I act upon whatever I know so far about my religion, believe me, I will be very, very closer to Allah. The difference between some people and the companions of Ahlul Bayt and Rasulullah, the good ones, are that they were active. Let me tell you what, before I said this. Compare yourself to companion of Rasulullah, to companion of Ahlul Bayt. Do you know more about Ahlul Bayt? Do you know more about Rasulullah? Do you have more hadith and dua and Quran and I don't know, traditions and recommendations and mustahabbat and makruhat? Do you know more about them or the companion of Rasulullah at that time? You know better, way more, right? Because it's been completed. What is the difference between us and them? They were acting upon what they knew at that time. It can be a simple person in a furthest village in some countries, but it has Islam and it has Iman and they are acting upon their Iman. That would elevate them and would reach them to become an arif and so close to Allah and maqam of Irfan. That is about that. That is what we see in Ashura. Action and amal to this level. Action and amal that we have to see this. Amir al-Mu'minin Imam Ali Salatu Wasalam says, إن أبغض الناس من يقتدي بسنة إمام ولم يقتدي بأعماله. Worst of all people is that says, yes, I'm going to follow the Imam, but when it comes to A'mal of Imam, they do opposite. Your Imam that you are sitting, I'm sitting, they are sitting, the Imam that you are following, the Imam, inshallah, is the one who said about your salat, who said about your tongue, who said about your husn khuluq, who said about your business, who said about khums and zakat and everything, that puzzle of Islam. Remember, this is يَقْتَدِي بِأَعْمَالِهِ. You have to act among the amal of Imam as well. What Imam wanted us to do, what Imam al-Hussein wanted us, Imam al-Hussein ﷺ became shaheed for what? For what? Thar Allah, the most respected person in the time of Imam Hussein. He became shaheed for what? For me and you acting upon our deen. Acting. He says, the reason that I'm standing in front of Yazid, لطلب الإصلاح في أمة جدي. I want to reform this ummah of my grandfather. It's not Islam. This is not Islam. That the Caliph of Islam, the Yazid, he's drinking and playing with dogs and everything around and mashallah. What is it? And oppressing people and killing people left and right, an unjust person. No, I'm going to reform this ummah. Reform in what? For the action. If it's about the belief, so people were praying apparently, right? People believe in Rasulullah, people believed in Salat, people believed in Hajj and Jihad and Zakat. In Amal, the maqam of Amal they had issue. People of Kufa, they knew Imam al-Hussein, who is Hussein. When it was the time, they had in al-Ladina Amanu according to their level, but when it was at the time of وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, let's go help Hussein. That's why these two should be together all the time. If someone has issue to act upon the a'mal of Islam and comes to you and says, no, just keep your heart pure. This is, the scholars are saying you have to pray, you have to fast. You mean, few seconds if you break your fast early, it's going to be better. Believe me, he doesn't have a good iman as well. She doesn't have a good iman. Because amal, strong amal comes with the good and a strong iman. Strong iman. When it comes to amal. Quran says, إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني. Tell them, Ya Rasulullah, if you really love me, فاتبعوني. Now that's the time that you follow me. Follow me in what? In amal. At the time of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, If everybody could say, you know what, Rasulullah, we believe that you're the Prophet, but now that the battle of Khaybar and the battle of, I don't know, Uhud, and we're just going to sit down in our houses and we just believe in you. Don't ask us to come out. We had some hypocrites at that time, they did the same. They were running away. Huh? Group of them, I don't mention the names, at the battle of Khandaq, trench. They knew that, everybody knew that Muslimin, they will be defeated, definitely, you know. How many people over there and small amount of people. While they were sitting on their horses, they were telling each other, they were talking to each other, a group of them, that they caused a lot of problem later on. They were telling each other that they had small idols. They hid it among the thighs on the horse. And they said that if we were defeated, we'll hide them. If they come and defeat us, we'll show them, see, we're with you guys. Not that all command of Rasulullah are good. Not that in Sahih Muslim and Bukhari sometimes they said, Ashabi kan najum ba'ayyihim iqtadaytum ihtadaytum. Whatever you, just go with my fake hadith. Just follow my ashab. Whoever you follow them, you will be guided. No, some of them are hypocrites. That Rasulullah, he was actually against them as well. Some of them, they heard Rasulullah cursed them. Marwan Hakam and his father, Rasulullah, exiled him from that area. Get away from this. And the third caliph took them back. So you're doing something against the lifestyle of Rasulullah, against the orders of Rasulullah, right? And the same guy, Marwan Hakam, one of the worst enemies of Ahlul Bayt, the same one didn't let Imam Hassan be buried in Baqi. The same one who actually made it public to curse Amir al-Mu'mineen in the Friday prayer, the same person. The same person that Rasulullah exiled him with his father, get away. But they took them back. Anyhow, in kuntum tuhibbuna Allah fattabi'un, and follow us. In amalin, in action you have to follow us. Some of the issues, some of the problems, disadvantages of not acting upon our beliefs. Let me tell you some of the issues that would happen here. The first thing is that we know that, and in Islam we have this term as well. Those people that they believe in something but they act against it, we call them what? Hypocrites. That you show that you believe in something but you act against it and against that person and against that beliefs that you have. Second, matter of fact, according to our traditions, the one who doesn't act upon its beliefs, in Islam we're talking about, it's not even Muslim. To the highest level we're talking, like the people that at that time they did it. Among us, sometimes we act, sometimes we don't act. It's different, right? Let me tell you. We believe in it, we follow it, we act upon it. Sometimes because we're lazy, sometimes ghafla. It's different than, you know, not acting upon it like the hypocrite at the time of Imam Hussein and Ahlul Bayt. That's different, so, right? So we have to understand this. Hadith from Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. ثلاث من كن فيه كان منافقا وإن صام وصلى وزعم أنه مسلم. Three things. If it's in one person, that person is munafiq, is hypocrite. Even if this person fasts and prays and consider himself or herself what? Muslim. What that means? Some people, they consider themselves Muslim, but we, Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt, we don't consider them Muslim. What are they? Someone who goes and against Ahlul Bayt, they're definitely, right? Definitely they are, we call them whatever. But among just acting upon beliefs. Man idha atumina khana. The one who, when someone else trusted him, he betrayed that trust. He trusted his brother, he trusted his friends, he transferred his land under his name. Says, brother, there is an issue, something, can you? And then later on says, brother, my land. What land? Oh, I sold it. Sold it. And then they want to call themselves Muslim. There are a lot of examples we have. يعني اؤتمن خان. يعني إذا اؤتمن خان. then when they give them a trust, they betray that trust. I'm thinking about saying this or not. When we get married, we trust each other. We give this trust to each other. We promised a lot of things. I'm going to do this and that and that. Believe me, so and so, blah, blah, blah. What if we betray that trust? Can we say that? This? Second, وَإِذَا حَدَّثَ كَذِبَ. The one when he talks, lies. Some people, they have this sickness. Joking, lying, talking, lying. Hadith from Rasulullah. This person cannot call himself Muslim, even if they pray. Yeah, apparently, he's Muslim, he's fine, and you bury him in the Muslim, cemetery or something, but the true Islam we're talking about, right? Third, وَإِذَا وَعَدَ أَخْلَفَ. When he promises something, he breaks his promises. He breaks his promises. When he says that I will do something, what are these things that are talking about? Talking about amal, talking about action. Talking about, you say you're Muslim, and your Muslim brother and sister, they have issue. Another hadith from Rasulullah says, how come you call yourself Muslim when your Muslim neighbor is hungry and you're full? Can you call yourself Muslim? Amal, action. I remember about this. Rasulullah was sitting in the masjid with a group of companions. One of the brothers, one of the companions left. Another one, he had his shoes, the shoes of that brother who left, and he hid it somewhere, so he couldn't find it. When he came back, he was looking for his shoes, and everybody was laughing at him. Rasulullah got upset and says, you guys call yourself Muslim and you make fun of your brother? Find something else to laugh at, not your brother. And respect of a Muslim. Sometimes like, oh my God, it's not acting upon our beliefs. Another issue is that losing our assets. The beliefs become so random and so something simple in front of us. We might just pray, but just the quality of the prayer, the quality of our ibadah and everything is not that strong. Hadith is saying, الْعِلْمُ الَّذِي لَا يُعْمَلُ بِهِ كَالْكَنْزُ الَّذِي لَا يُنْفَعُ مِنْهِ. In knowledge that is not being acted upon, it's like you have an important and very expensive treasure that you're not using it. What does it do? The hadith says, you keep somewhere, you have to keep it safe. You're putting yourself in difficulties and hardship to keep it safe, but there's no manfa'ah, there's no benefit from that treasure for you. What is it then? Huh? Not acting upon amal, not acting upon beliefs is like, it's like I go to a doctor, I always give this example. I wait in a long 6 months to get to a doctor. Very famous doctor in the whole world, right? Now that I get there, he finds my issue. He writes it down, prescription. I bring it down, put it on the wall, instead of taking it to the pharmacy. And tell everyone, take a picture, by the way, I went to this doctor. Okay, good brother, what are you going to do with this? You have to take it to the hospital, to the pharmacy. I mean, get the medicine and use it to get better. So we have all recommendations of Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt, but we are not acting upon it. So the one who doesn't act upon knowledge, the one who doesn't act upon, he knows he has to spend time, he knows he has to spend money for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he knows this is the asset that comes from Allah, will be forced to send it in the path of other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hadith, وَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ مَنْ لَمْ يُنْفِقْ فِي طَاعَةِ اللَّهِ ابْتُلِيَ بِأَنْ يُنْفَقْ فِي مَعْصِيَةِ اللَّهِ. The one who doesn't do infaq and charity for the sake of Allah, you should know that this person would send that money in the path of ma'asiyat of Allah, in the path of committing haram against the orders of Allah. Another hadith, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَمْشِ فِي حَاجَةِ وَلِيِّ اللَّهِ ابْتُلِيَ بِأَنْ يَمْشِ فِي حَاجَةِ عَدُوِّ اللَّهِ. The one who doesn't walk in the path of solving the issue of his Muslim brother or wali of Allah here, to find a solution for an issue of wali of Allah, this person would walk towards solving the issue of who? The enemies of Allah.
What happened to people of Kufa? They didn't to go to help the wali of Allah. What happened? They supported the enemy of Allah. من منع ماله من الأخيار اختيارا صرف الله ماله إلى الأشرار اغترارا. And the one who doesn't spend his money or her money, doesn't matter, for the sake of good people to help to do something, would be forced by this world to spend that money for ashrar and unrighteous people. Many other things that comes, and we see that, the worst consequence of this not acting upon amal is getting away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Distance between that person. Imagine between a husband and wife. If the husband comes home every day and says, you know what, I love you so much, every day 10 times, I love you, I love you. But as soon as she asks for something, can you buy this for me? No, I don't like you that much. I don't love you that much. You have to act upon that love. It's not just claiming something, right? You have to do something. And just a simple example, you have to show it in action as well. Many times I see complaint from specifically a sister who says, yeah, he claimed that he's doing many things, but we don't see it. He's not really acting upon what he's saying. Yeah, I'm doing many things for you. You have to show it in action, actually. Specifically when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is so sensitive about his love. He never buys just the claim that I love you, Allah. Act. Show it to me. Ibrahim, Allah, I love you so much. Let me see. You're supposed to be thrown into the fire. Let me see if you really love me or not. Isa, Musa, all of them. Rasulullah, you love me. You have to show me. You know what's going to happen to your children. Show me how patient you are. And another important characteristics that comes with amal. Strong, look at this chain. Strong iman. We'll talk about this. Strong amal, acting upon that amal, leads to what? Taslim and submission. And that leads to what Abu al-Fadl Abbas is famous of that. Loyalty. Being loyal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the covenant, to the promise that you made with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and loyal to the Imam of time. Loyalty is a great attribute. All of us will love to be loyal to what we believe. This is what we have to understand. It's so important to analyze this and see that if we are talking tonight about Abu Fadl Abbas alayhi salatu wasalam, don't jump into the 10th of Muharram and says, yes, Abu Fadl Abbas, he was so brave and he was so loyal. That I'll always say that. What did he do that he became Abu Fadl Abbas? What kind of attributes he had that he could show that amazing loyalty to Imam Hussein in the day of Ashura. Something is supporting Abu Fadl Abbas that he can be so loyal to the time, to the extent that Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, the Imam, Ma'soom, infallible, says بنفسي أنت الآن انكسر ظهري. The shahad was one that Abu Fadl was when he was on the ground. Imam Hussein says, now that you become shaheed, now Imam Hussein Ma'soom, the whole world rely on him. He says, my back is broken now. I have no one after you. Imam of As says, I have no one after you. Look at this. What did Abu Fadl Abbas do that he is someone that Imam of Asr of his time is relying on him? Amazing. It's amazing. It comes from what? Number one, the Iman of Abu Fadl Abbas. That he is a mu'min. He is a righteous abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's number one, and on top of all, this is what we have to see. In the ziyarat of Abu Fadl Abbas, he is not, apparently he's not ma'soom, he's not part of the 14 ma'soomin. Imam Sadiq is saying, Assalamu alayka ayyuha al-abdu salih. Peace be upon you, Abbas, a righteous servant of Allah. You know when Imam of Asr have this ziyarah, have said this? Not Allama Majlisi, not so and so. Imam Sadiq is saying this, peace be upon you. You know what that means? Let me say that. In the salam of your salat, what do you say? Assalamu alaikum wa ala ibadillahis salihin. This ziyarah says what? Assalamu alayka ya ayyuhal abdu salih. In the salat of your salam, he said, they said my peace and blessing to you righteous people. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam is saying this, Assalamu alayka ayyuhal abdu salih. If Abbas is Abu Fadl Abbas alayhi salatu wasalam, number one, he is and he became the righteous abd of Allah. Not just he's the brother of Imam Hussein. And also had many other brothers as well. In Karbala, we have many sons of Imam Zadeh, a lot. None of them, you don't know any of them because of the son, Imam Hussein himself. Because he's so brilliant, you don't see any other stars, right? Except one next to him, Abu Fadl Abbas. You thought about this? Except one next to him. Number one, have you thought about this? Abu Fadl Abbas is Abbas because of what? Number one, strong iman. Become a righteous person. Second, acting upon his iman. No one did this better than Abu Fadl Abbas. Acting upon his iman. Acting upon his iman. That's why we see him as here. Third, submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who? Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt. It's just what you were saying, Sayyid? No. The ziyarat of Abu Fadl Abbas, when you continue, you said, Assalamu alayka ayyuha al-abdu salih al-muti'u lillahi wa li rasulihi wa li amir al-mu'mineen wal-Hasan wal-Husayn. You're muti', you're submitted, you're obedient towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who? And Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Amir al-Mu'mineen, and Imam al-Hasan, and Imam al-Husayn, your imams. Submission to them. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Highest level of submission after Ma'sumin. 14 Ma'sumin, 14 infallibles. After, put them aside, the highest level of submission you can find. Look at Abu Fadl Abbas, Ayman Abdul Salih. Now we're analyzing, we're not blindly following. Submission, we said, leads to what? Loyalty. Loyalty. That's why he is famous of this. That's why me and you, we have to tell the story of Abu Fadl Abbas for our children to make him a hero and role model. Not some fake and fantasy Hollywood, I don't know, movies and character that they created for themselves for our children. One of the Christian brother, he came and he was very upset with us. He said, you followers of Ahlul Bayt, you're so lazy. One of the brothers who was narrating, you guys are so lazy. Why? Some other people, he said, some other people, they don't have any real character in their life and in their beliefs, in their religion, in their whole life. They have to fake something. They have to create something, a lie, a fantasy, a character to impress people in the world. You have Abu Fadl Abbas and you don't introduce him to the world. You have, he was saying, you have Abu Fadl Abbas and you don't make pages and pages in internet to introduce Abu Fadl Abbas to people. You have him and you don't fill up the whole social media about Abu Fadl Abbas and his loyalty. You guys are so lazy. Those people who don't have these characters, they know who. You have them and you don't announce them, you don't introduce them to the world. You have them and he went, he's thirsty, he got to the Al-Qamah, to the river. The whole world gave him the permission to drink water. The whole world. There's nothing, no morally or ethically or, I don't know, legally, there's nothing wrong. You're thirsty for a few days, and now you're in the river. The water is in front of you. You got the water, drink it. My master Hussein is thirsty, and I drink. I drink. Nope. I do whatever he does first, and then I do. If he said do it, I'll do it. That's submission, that's loyalty. And me and you, I do something outside that the Imam of Asr sees me and he cries. Imam of Asr, I break his heart because of my amal. Ya Allah. Because of my amal, the Imam of Asr. That is Abu Fadl Abbas. أشهد أنك مضيت على ما مضى به البدريون المجاهدون في سبيل الله. You did what the warriors in the path of Allah they do. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says, كان أمنا عباس ابن علي نافذ البصيرة. He had basira. He had intuition. He knew what he's doing. He knew what he's doing. When that Mal'un and Shem came and he brought the amnesty for him, he says, this is Aman Namid, this is amnesty from Ibn Ziyad. If you come to us, you and your brothers, your 4 brothers, you will be fine, 3 brothers, you will be fine. I got this, a letter from Ibn Ziyad. Al-Fadl Allah says, curse be upon you and your letter, your amnesty and everyone. Get away from this. I leave Hussein, I leave you and I have amnesty and my master Hussein doesn't have it. It looks like he measures everything with Hussein, right? He measures everything. If he wants to drink water, Hussein. If he wants to accept something, Hussein. If you want. That's amazing what he's doing. That's loyalty. That's why they call it Sulbul Iman. It's the strength that we see in our Father. إنك مضيت على بصيرة. That's what we have to find. That's what we have to get. That's why if someone tells you next time, you're sitting in the Majlis of Imam Hussein for something happened 1,379 years ago, you describe this to him. We're talking about today. We're talking about what we get from that time to use it for our daily life today and every day. Ya Allah, give us tawfiq to learn more about this great character of Karbala. Give us tawfiq to be closer to these amazing characters of Karbala like Abu Fadl Abbas. Ya Allah, give us tawfiq to act upon our beliefs. Good for you guys. Good for you guys sitting in the majlis that we narrate the name of Abu Fadl Abbas, this hero, name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, name of this true and righteous people. Good for you guys that you cry for these people. If anyone in this world, they have this amazing people that they knew how could they change the whole world, they would have cried for missing them as well. Our tears are the tears of basira, tears of knowing what we missed, what happened to our Imams, inshallah. اللهم صل على فاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها بعدد ما أحاط به علمه صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول Rasulallah. Tonight, beg your eyes to cry for Abul Fadl Abbas, because our majalis are gradually getting to the end. Whatever you can do, just few nights left from our majalis. Even if you can cry, have the condition of someone who is sad and is crying. We have tradition, either you cry or you make people cry for Hussein, or you have the condition of someone as that person is sad that he wants to cry for Hussein. Sallallahu alayka ya ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen wa ibn Sayyid al-Yassin. Sallallahu alayka ya ibn Fatima, Sayyidat nisa'il alameen. I wanted to start the musibah from Karbala, but let me take you back. Let's go to the house of Amir al-Mu'mineen. At the night of the 21st of Ramadan, all the children of Amir al-Mu'mineen around the bed of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and everyone are in the room. You know what I want to say, right? You can just go ahead and cry for it. Amir al-Mu'mineen ordered, tell everyone to leave the room except the children of Zahra. Just children of Zahra is here. Rabi said, I saw everyone is living and Abbas is living as well. This is the biggest musibah for myself when I recite this. I don't know about you. He said, I saw Abbas is living as well. He's very sensitive about his mother Zahra. If you have Hajj tonight, just swear to Zahra Salamullah alayha. He said, his Abbas is living as well. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Abbas, oh my son, where are you living? Maybe he said, oh father, you said children of Zahra. Rahmat to these voices, to this cry. Tonight cry out loud for Abul Fadl Abbas. The same that Hussein cried out loud for Abbas in Karbala. Buka'an shadida. Abul Fadl, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Abbas, come here. My whole message is about you, Ya Abbas. We know that at the end of the life of a father, usually he tells the older brothers to take care of the younger ones. But over there, he took the hands of Hussein, put it in the hands of Abbas. Abbas, I am not in Karbala. His brother Hassan will not be in Karbala. Abbas, his mother will not be in Karbala. Baba Abbas, take care of your brother Hussein. Amir al-Mu'mineen, let me tell you something. He fulfilled his promise when he fell down from the horse. He couldn't tolerate anymore. He went to Imam Hussein, Sayyidi wa Mawla. He always called Imam Hussein Sayyidi, oh my master. Never called Hussein, oh brother. This is the respect of Abul Fadl Abbas. He never says that. Let me tell you something, this is my own words. Maybe Hussein is saying, Abbas, don't you want to call me up, oh brother, even to the last moment? Ya Hussein, let me go. I can't tolerate hearing the voice of your children say, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, we're thirsty and their uncle is here. He got the permission, they left. Imam, he all of a sudden, he said he doesn't hear the voice of Abbas anymore. All of a sudden he hears that Abbas says, Ya Akha, Adrik Akha. Oh brother, come and help your brother. Hussein knows, when Abbas calls him brother, that means these are the last moments of his life. Hussein went to Abbas on the ground. Oh, he got the head of Abbas, he put it on his lap. Oh my God, who did this to you, Abbas? Look at this beautiful eyes. Look at this face. Who did this to you? الآن انكسر ظهري وقلت هيلتي. Abbas, after you, Hussein has no one. My back is broken. What should I do after you, Abbas? And now Hussein is going to come back to the Qiyam. What should he tell to Sakina and Ruqayya and Zainab? What should he say? Where is Abul Fadl Abbas Alamdar? Where is the flag bearer of the army of Hussein? The commander of the army of Hussein? Oh, Assalamu alayka. أيها العبد الصالح المطيع لله ولرسوله ولأمير المؤمنين والحسن والحسين. I know you want one day be standing in front of the haram of Abul Fadl Abbas and say this ziyarah and salam to Abbas. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Any haja if you have in your mind, any need, any request. This is the night of Bab al-Hawaij. This is the night of Bab al-Hawaij. يا كاشف الكرب وجه الحسين اكشف كربنا بحق أخيك الحسين. Your Abbas, these brothers and sisters sitting here, they have some hajat, some requests, they believe in you. Your Abbas, they love you. Come to our majlis, take a look at our majlis and these people. Your Bab al-Hawaij, give them their hajat and requests. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. وعلى الأرواح التي. Don't wait for me, say it out loud. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفناء عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم. All together say this salam out loud. As-salam. This is not the voice of the night of Joshua. Out loud. Wala. MashaAllah. Wala. One more time, raise your voice, inshallah. Malaik will take it to Karbala. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala, mashallah, wa ala أبا الفضل العباس ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين فسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Inshallah, if you do, and we'll get ready for Matam. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج. Bring all your hajat in your mind. اللهم عجل لمولانا الفرج. والعافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم بحق العباس in the last moment of his life hasten in the ظهور of our Imam Mahdi loud Ameen inshallah Ya Allah hasten in the ظهور of our Imam Mahdi give us tawfiq to be among the true followers of our Imam Ya Allah help us our generation always be stable in the path of Ahlul Bayt do not let anyone from our generation be against Ahlul Bayt Ya Allah, anyone from this ummah, if they have any hajah, specifically the followers of Ahlul Bayt, especially my brothers and sisters here, give them all khair hajat. Ya Allah, anyone who has intentionally hurt Islam, send their evil back to themselves. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, anyone who is being oppressed, the people of Yemen, the people of Afghanistan, the people of anywhere in the world, Bahrain, Ya Allah, for the sake of the best of all your servants, provide opportunities for their freedom. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who are sick, cure them, and those who passed away, send the thabam and reward of this majlis to their soul. Ya Hussein, oh Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, oh Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, oh Ya